If you've been told the following 8 problems are just due to your age, then you've been misled, and the good news is you can probably fix them. My name is Harlow, and I specialise in helping people over the age of 50 to improve their mobility and overcome the kind of problems that doctors tell them are just due to age. And in today's video, I'm going to reveal 8 common problems that everyone seems to believe are age-related and show you how to fix them. The following 8 problems are all things that patients of mine have been told are just due to age and nothing can be done. As you're watching this video, if you come across something here that you've also been told is an inevitable part of aging, I'd love it if you left a comment below to let us know which one. The first problem that people are told are just due to their age and there's nothing that can be done is a loss of muscle mass or sarcopenia. And sarcopenia just means declining muscle tissue with age. And many of my clients are first told, oh, well, you're getting older. Of course you're going to lose muscle. Of course you're going to lose strength. And everyone ends up losing their independence over time. Now, this is categorically not true. And although most people do end up losing muscle over time, if you work hard to prevent it, you absolutely can slow it down or even reverse it. There's tons of evidence to show that you can build or regain muscle at any age, including in your 80s and 90s, if you know what you're doing. Strength training and changes to your diet can make a massive difference in the battle against sarcopenia. Let me show you some of my best advice now. Here is a quick guide to reversing sarcopenia, which covers all your bases. The first step you need to take is 2 to 3 days per week of resistance training, which is weight training. It doesn't necessarily mean joining a gym. You can do things like sit to stands or step ups on a staircase. All of these things count, but they go a long way to reversing muscle loss and rebuilding new tissue. I've got loads of ideas for how to do that on my channel. The second thing is to get good quality rest. So sleep is very, very important, and adults need 7 to 9 hours every night, regardless of age. But the other thing is making sure that the days when you're not resistance training, you're having time to relax and allow your body to recover. It's no good doing this every single day because you won't be getting enough rest in order to improve. The third thing is to eat plenty of protein, and the amount differs from person to person. But government and wider guidelines typically recommend 1 to 2 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight per day if you want to maintain or improve your muscle mass. And then the fourth thing is to eat enough calories. And in terms of how to eat enough calories, you don't want to be losing weight while you're trying to gain muscle. It's very difficult to lose fat and gain muscle at the same time. So make sure you're eating enough food to support your goals. That's a very, very quick whistle-stop tour, but I have a free 25-minute video that you can take today, which gives you much more information on this kind of thing. If you're interested in that, you can find it in the description box below this video. The second age-related problem that you can actually reverse is joint pain and stiffness. And many people assume that just because they're getting older, their joints are naturally going to start aching. But that's not true. And if you dedicate yourself to a little bit of mobility work every day, it will make a massive difference to your joint pain and stiffness. Here are some great examples for exercises that you can start using at home today. Before I show you them, they're not suitable for everyone. Do get checked out before you try them and avoid any of the ones that cause you pain. The first mobility exercise you can try is the sit and twist. This is such a nice exercise for improving your thoracic mobility and your shoulder as well. So from a nice sitting position, come to the edge of the chair with your feet flat on the floor. What we're going to do is sit up really tall, put one hand across you like this just for support, and raise the other arm up in the air. And keeping that arm up in the air, turn towards the lifted arm until you feel a bit of a stretch around your mid-back and your shoulder. Keep your neck in a neutral position. Don't try and turn it like this. Just keep it relaxed and then come back to the center. Swap arms. So put this one down, raise this one up and rotate the other way. And this is such a nice stretch, particularly for people who sit a lot and who feel that they've lost mobility over time. Doing that little and often throughout the day can really help. If that was too easy and you want to take things a step further, you could try the squat and twist instead, which looks similar, but what you're going to do is take your feet about shoulder width apart like this. You're going to squat down just until you reach kind of your natural limit. Put one of your elbows against your knee here, lift the other arm and rotate like that. You can hold it for 5 seconds, then come down and swap. So jam that elbow into that knee, lift that arm and rotate. It's a lovely mobilization for your upper back and your shoulders, and it also helps you to improve the mobility of your hips and your knees. The next exercise you can do to significantly improve your mobility, especially in the lower body, is the hip and knee range of motion exercise. It's really easy to do. You just need your bed and you're going to lie down on your back like this. You can actually do this as soon as you wake up in the morning to loosen up stiffness here and here. What we're going to do here is a couple of stages. You're going to first start off by straightening the leg to be worked as much as you can and pushing your knee down into the mattress. Hold for 2 seconds and then you're going to put it into reverse. Slide your heel up towards your bottom like this, as far as you can go. And when you hit your limit, you're going to bring your hip up now, so thigh towards chest. And then when you get here, you're just going to hug it in towards your chest. Hold for 2 seconds and then put it back down. And then you start again. You straighten the leg out, you push down into the mattress, and then bring it back up. So in this way, we're systematically working all of the movements of your knee, and then we're working on your hip flexion and extension as well. And if you did 30 seconds working on the left, 30 seconds working on the right, and you do that every morning, that's going to make a huge difference to your mobility over time. By the way, if you want more help in improving your mobility, the best thing you can do is sign up for my lifelong mobility program. It gives you tons of mobility routines done in real time with me. You can follow them every single day. And the goal of the program is to transform your movement and your strength over time. You can check it out. The link is in the description box below this video. The third issue that's not just due to your age is balance and coordination problems. People often assume that as we get older, our balance just gets worse and there's nothing you can do about it. But balance is a skill. And just like any other skill, if you practice it, you can improve it. Here are some exercises to help you do just that. The first exercise you can do to help you regain your balance is the tightrope walk. And this is a lovely exercise that challenges not your static balance, but your dynamic balance, which is more functional in day-to-day life. Here's how it looks. So you're going to stand next to a wall. You want a nice walkway in front of you, probably about 10 to 15 feet ahead if you've got that at home. You want to start off standing like this. And all we're going to do is imagine you've got a tightrope running out in front of you, and you're going to walk along that tightrope, going heel to toe all the way along. And you want to try and do this as slowly as you possibly can, because this exercise is a little bit like riding a bike. If you do it very fast, it's easier because you've got momentum. But if you do it really slowly, that's when it becomes more difficult and you'll feel yourself wobbling all over the place. Now we've got the wall here, so it's totally safe. And I'd recommend you do this for 30 to 60 seconds at a time. Just try and do it once, twice, 3 times per day. It will make a huge difference to your balance over time. And then the second exercise is one that will improve not just your balance, but your coordination as well. It's called the sit to stand with eyes closed. And you just need a nice dining room chair set up like this with the backs of your legs touching it so you can feel that chair. What I want you to do now, from a standing position, take your hands out the way and close your eyes. Keep your eyes closed, stick your bottom out and bend your knees and go as slowly as you can down to the chair. Now it gets a bit scary for some people about halfway down, because as you bend your knees, your legs move off the back of the chair, so you can't feel that chair anymore. You just have to trust that it's back there and that you'll drop down safely into it. Now people are often really surprised at how disorientating this feels, but if you stick to it, it will improve your sense of where you are in space, which is called your proprioception, and it will also improve your coordination. You'll feel that if you've dropped over to one side, you'll feel your right bum cheek hit that chair much quicker than your left, and then you'll know to adjust for the next time. And I recommend practicing 5 of these repetitions in a row against maybe just 1 or 2 times per day. Makes a huge difference to your coordination and balance over time. By the way, if you haven't already, just do me one big favor and hit that subscribe button below this video, because then you'll be the first to hear about our new videos when they come out, and it really helps the channel to grow. So thanks so much if you do that. The fourth thing that people are told is just due to their age is chronic fatigue and low energy. Now, we're not talking about chronic fatigue syndrome here. We're just talking about that general feeling of tiredness that people assume is always age related. The truth is, it's not always just due to your age. And there are three major causes of tiredness and fatigue that most people don't think to address. The first is physical activity. And most people assume that the more you exercise, the more tired you're going to be because you're expending energy on that thing. But the truth is, it's the total opposite. The more you exercise, the more your body is energized. And that feeds into thing number two, which is good sleep. And if you exercise a lot, you tend to sleep better, which means you're more rested the next day, which means you have more energy and the cycle can repeat. Rather than being a vicious cycle of no exercise, then poor sleep, you're flipping it on its head, doing more exercise, which gives you more energy. At the end of the day, you're fatigued, so you sleep, and then you wake up feeling amazing the next day. If you're interested in looking at ways to improve your sleep, there's a video at the top of the screen that you can click on now, which will give you some of my best tips. And then the third thing that can cause chronic fatigue is poor diet. If you're not getting enough fruit and vegetables, if you're eating tons of ultra-processed foods and a high sugar diet, as well as not getting quality carbohydrates and fat, all of those things can lead to crashes in energy and that feeling of fatigue, no matter how much exercise you've done. So if you do have those symptoms, start with those three things first before you assume it's just an inevitable part of aging. The fifth thing that might not just be due to your age is slowing down cognitively. Now, to a certain extent, we're all going to lose brain power as we get older, but there are two things you can do that are really powerful in reversing some of those changes. The first is to get more active socially. And there's some very robust research, which I've left a link to in the description below, that shows that loneliness and lack of social activity can accelerate cognitive decline faster than just about anything else. So getting yourself surrounded by friends and family, making new social connections and getting involved with hobbies are all great ways to improve your cognitive function. And then the second thing is exercise. Physical daily activity goes a long way to reversing not just physical, but cognitive decline as well. And research has shown that adding muscle to your body and improving blood flow all around the body, including the brain, can reverse some of those cognitive decline changes. The sixth thing that might not just be due to your age is postural changes like rounded shoulders and stooping. And many people believe that, oh, I'm just getting older, I'm shrinking, this is what happens to everyone. But that's not always the case. And for many people, if you strengthen up your postural muscles, it can actually pull you out of these positions into a much better standing position, which improves your balance and your mobility and helps you avoid pain as well. Here is one great exercise to help you do just that. It's really easy to do. It's called the band pull apart, and you just need one of these, which is a very cheap length of resistance band, and you're going to hold it in two hands like this. Stand up as tall as you can, put the band out in front of you here, keep your shoulders down, and keeping the arms straight, pull that band across your chest as if you're trying to snap it across your chest. You want to really pull it across your chest like this, and as you do so, squeeze your shoulder blades together. Hold that for 3 to 5 seconds and then rewind it back to the start and keep repeating. And I recommend doing about 10 of these in a row. If you can do that 1 to 3 times per day, it's going to make a big difference to your posture over time. Have a look at another postural exercise I recommend right now. The next exercise that can help you with those postural problems is called the seated cat-cow. And it's such a nice exercise to improve rounding of shoulders. So you just need a chair to sit on. Come to the edge of your chair like this with your feet planted on the floor. You're going to hold your knees with both hands like this, and we're just going to alternate between two positions. The first is this. We're going to pull back on our knees and sink back towards the back of the chair, dropping your chin down to your chest. And once you reach your maximum, you should feel a stretch between your shoulder blades. Then you're going to put it into reverse. Pull towards your knees, stick your chest out and raise your head like this. That's the second position there. I can never remember which one's the cat and which one's the cow. Maybe you can let me know in the comments. But as we sink back, we get a nice stretch in the back. And as we push forward like this, we really put those facet joints into an extended position, which is what most people lack with age. You can alternate between those two positions for about 30 to 60 seconds. Again, little and often works best, and those two things should go a long way to fixing your posture. The seventh thing that's probably not due to your age are gut issues like constipation and bloating. Now, most people are told, well, as you get older, you just get more gut issues, and they do tend to become more likely with age, but it's probably not because of your age that you're having these gut issues. I actually ran into this problem myself a few months ago. I was experiencing some horrible gut issues. I spoke to some friends and they said, yeah, well, you're in your 30s now, that's just bound to happen. But then when I looked at what I was eating and I picked apart my diet and my habits, I realized I was actually doing a lot that was harming my gut health rather than helping it. And I made some changes, and guess what? Those symptoms disappeared. The three things I focused on that improved my gut health and are evidence-based to help you as well are improving your hydration, so drinking more water, eating more fiber, which is vital, and about 50 to 70% of people do not get enough fiber in a Western diet. Then the third thing is eating more gut-friendly foods. Hydration helps with gut motility because it's basically more lubrication down there. Eating more fiber, again, helps you to process food better. So I was adding in apples and pears and more fruit and vegetable where I wasn't before. And then the third thing is gut-friendly foods. I love yogurt and kefir and things like that, and those greatly helped my digestion and took away many of those symptoms. Another thing you can try if you're suffering with gut problems is to eliminate certain foods. And if your symptoms improve, try adding things back in slowly. And if the symptoms come back, you'll know exactly what caused it so you can avoid it in the future. The eighth thing that might not just be due to your age is slower healing and slower recovery. Now, to a certain extent, you are going to heal and recover slower with age. But many people assume that their injuries or their aches and pains are just not getting better at all because they're getting older. And that's just not the case for most people. If you haven't addressed mobility problems, if you haven't got the muscles of the surrounding area stronger, and you're not committing to doing everything you can to help your body heal, it's no wonder that it feels slow or non-existent. But if you tick all of those boxes, many of the problems that people assume are there permanently and just due to their age can resolve over time. I've got tons of ideas on my channel to help you to heal faster and recover quicker. You can see a video on the screen right now to help you do that. And I hope you enjoyed today's video. Drop a comment below if you have. Let me know if you've heard about any one of these problems, and I'll see you again on the next one.